and pray for their speedy and full recovery, and just look at the many things that we have to be proud of and happy for. And we pray that our president has a full recovery, and we pray for the greatest nation in the world, the United States of America.
Good morning. How are we doing? This is DeRu, and we're going to do some meditation again. All right, and then I want to see, and I talked to Dave this morning, and he told me he did a little bit of the breathing, right? And talked about the other day, and he felt that good things and out of it. And we have a lot of people definitely are doing that, and I have done that last week with a couple people, and we have a few people who wrote me that they felt that the emotional calmness, and then that immune system instigation, that cosmic feel, and then from the different ways to instigate the mind, the emotions, the heart, and the overall integrated whole. So that's what we're going to do today. And today also we bring Professor Liu in. Hello, Professor Liu.
Hello, Master DeRu.
Okay, all right. We're going to do some meditation before we talk, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, let's do some meditation and take a deeper breath. Slowly breathe out. Put your toe to the upper palate. Let's do 2 breaths continuously before we let the air go. Deeply breathe in. Another. And slowly breathe out. Now breathe in. Breathe out. Take a 2 deeper breaths. All the way to your lower abdomen, slowly let it go. Take a 2 short breaths. Breathe in. And then gradually breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe in again. Slowly breathe out. Now breathe naturally, calmly, quietly, in silence. When we breathe in, we say when we breathe out, we may say breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Raise your hands up to each side. Breathe out. Turn your palms up. Breathe in. Breathe in. Okay, now during the entire time, you feel the breath. You listen to your breath, and you begin to penetrate into your skin, into your bones, into your bone marrows, into your hypothalamus, into your pituitary gland, into your pineal gland with your qi. That means with your energy, the vital energy. Penetrate, permeate. At first, you have the senses. You are applying the senses of your external being, your internal being with the five senses, and you go beyond the senses. That means you do not feel anymore. You do not see anymore. You just into that emptiness, into that void, into the nothingness. You feel there's just that grand opening, grand space without any edges, without boundaries. And then, slowly you bring yourself back. It's a process. Sometimes I do hours. Even 20 minutes is a short period, and 10 minutes is a short period. But you just do the whole process. Sometimes you do not have it. Sometimes you do have it. As you go more and more, you begin to feel more. And just like a breath, you do. And you begin to feel the body, you have some changes. And you do the calm ones. And you do some of them, you instigate your immune system. Some of them to reorganize the immune system. And it's a beautiful thing. And you have so much to do. And so much you can open up the channels. Okay, let's bring Professor Liu in. Hello, Professor Liu. Hi. Now it's yours, and then I'm going to see what you want to talk. I know that you want to talk about from theory to practical things, and then we need to go a little bit deeper into the more practical. Probably a lot of people interested, and I want to see, and from your point of view of the theory and to practices. Okay? All right.
Okay. Just a moment ago, Master DeRu make guide out to the meditation. He used his voice to make energy vibration, and he combined the energy vibration use the voice, and is combined with his consciousness, his high dimension, make the vibration, energy vibration in this space. So that is very, very pure, the practice. So today we talk about from theory to the practice. That is integrating high-dimensional practice into every moment for life. In the past few talks, I have shared the scientific context of Zen meditation, Qigong, and the cause of disease, and the basic principle of healing. The vertical and horizontal relationship between space and existence is introduced from the mathematical and physical theory. The projective relationship from top to bottom in multi-dimensional space, and all the existence can be presented by a sine wave. All the superposition of infinity number of energy waves. The concept of a high-dimensional practice is introduced. Today, Master DeRu and I will focus on the concrete representation from theory to practice. In the first part, I want to talk to you about experiencing of a higher dimensional practice. The first, we have to establish the conditions of a higher dimensional experience. What is the condition? There I have 5 things now. So number 1 is purify. That means purify one's inner consciousness and keep it pure. The number 2 is calm. Keep one's inner energy calm and emotions stable and peaceful. The number 3 is respectful. Maintain respect for nature and all within. Number 4 is a mirror. That means number 4 is the mirror. The means is all the people, relationships, and things around as mirrors to reflect one's own life lesson. Number 5, that is the surrounding and the vision. Establish the surrounding environment suitable for high-dimensional practice. At the same time, continuously improve the inner vision of the dimension.
Okay.
So in the second part, we talk about the high dimension, the specific experience of a high dimensional practice. There are the multi methods in various higher dimensional practice. Choose one's favorite and most suitable method. That's very important. It's because for the different people have the different methods.
Good.
Yeah. Master DeRu introduced in the lesson Tai Kung Chan. Tai Kung Chan is an effective higher dimensional practice which integrates Eastern wisdom and modern scientific thought. Tai Kung Chan has a complete practice path from curing disease to strengthening the body, from opening the mind to awakening life. Provide a complete set of high-dimensional practice. Please, DeRu.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. I see. So we talked about the theory last time. We talked about how we may choose different pathways to heighten our inner consciousness, to tap into that wisdom of the universal intelligence, and that is from the internal being. And then we can also expand that consciousness and horizontally to reach not only our group of people but the universe in general, and more people and more conscious beings and being affected. That means when you send the ripple effect, that ripple effect is going to be one layer by one circle by another circle, and expand out. So then from that theory, and then we're going to talk about the actual practice. The actual practice, we definitely need to set certain conditions, and also when we set up an environment, the external environment, and also the internal environment. That means the inside, if you have so many junk, you have so many, garbages, you have so many chaotic vibration. If you have all kinds of thoughts, all kinds of detachments, all kinds of attachments, then you cannot get through anything. So number one is to purify. So he talked about the purification, and I totally see that. And then when I do my practice, number one thing, that's why I want people to listen to yourself and to set up that tone and sometimes use that vibration, sound vibration, to clean up, to bring yourself into the inner being instead of into that chaos, into that various disordered frequency, so that purification is very, very important. Not only just the energy purification or matter purification, the thoughts purification, but the inner channel, the inner pathway to your supreme consciousness. And that pathway must be purified. That mind must be purified. The transformation equipment must be, and so to speak, and I'm using metaphor over here, to be purified. And that means the entire conscious being of that billions of trillions of cells need to be purified. During the purification, and we talk about that calmness. Without calmness, and we are in chaos. Without calmness, we are in anxious. We are in anxiety. We are in panic. We are in fear. And that calmness is very, very vital for anything that can be peaceful, that can be silent, can be settled down. That means that our emotions, our mind transmission, our surroundings, what do we perceive, what do we conceive, must be in a very calm mind status. Without that kind of calm mind status, there's no way we can get into the deeper state of mind, get to the deeper state, into the innermost consciousness of that innate wisdom or innate intelligence, so to speak. So that calmness is very, very important. So that's why at the beginning, when you see, you relax, you listen to yourself, listen to the breath, so that chaos only be into the realm of your mind, into the channels of your mind. And then I want to see you to feel, to sense that breath. So to listen and to feel, and then your body begin to be in a channel of communication. That means you are in observation mode, and you observe that self, you observe that body, observe that mind, observe that emotions, observe everything, the totality of that self. When you observe the totality of that self, you automatically calm down. You do not have to manage. You do not have to make yourself to be calm. The calmness comes on its own. That is very, very important part of that whole process. So you listen, you feel, and slowly you go beyond your feelings. You go into the deep mind, deep consciousness, deep soul. At the beginning, you listen, you feel that energy begin to transmit from your hypothalamus into your pituitary gland, into your pineal gland, from the sacrum, and from your spinal cord, your cervical cord, and all the way to your Beihui acupoint. And that is the process, that is the beginning process. So let your dopamines, let your serotonin, and to be released, so that you feel that opening, so that you can calm yourself. That's a very, very important part of that process. Next thing is that because we have that calmness, and we must have that, Professor Liu say, is the respect. The respect nature, respect people, respect ourselves. I would say sort of like a reverence. Everybody probably understand the reverence. Reverence is not only just reverence to the whole, to all beings, to nature, to everything. That is the reverence. So reverence is the key over here. And that love, that kindness, that reverence is to respect all. And all nature, all nationality, all consciousness, without divisions, without nationalities, without religions, only conscious living beings, and beyond that consciousness living beings. So those things are very important part of the thing you dissect it and you open up. Oh, everything's related, pocket by pocket. One bubble to another bubble, one molecules to another molecules and to another molecules, one atom to another atom. Everything is integrated. Everything has that consciousness. So we need to understand the integral part of the consciousness. You respect others, you respect animals, you respect matters, you respect things, and then actually you also respect yourself. Without respect others, you're not really respect yourself at all. So the self-esteem, self-confidence come from what? From respect to all, that reverence to all. That's a very important part. And then next, we talk about another condition. So you set up this condition I call feng shui. Internal feng shui and external feng shui. Basically, develop and set up the right environment, right mode, right emotions, right consciousness, right energy frequencies. Okay, that's what it is, to set up everything for that programming. Because you are programmed. You have been programmed. You have been programmed since you were born or before you were born. Your parents were programmed. So that genetic imprint, the DNA, has always been there and penetrated into your skin, penetrated into your atoms, penetrated into your molecules, penetrated into every of your cell. So, and then we need to set up that condition, set up that environment, set up that settings, and for you to recondition, reprogram it, and to set up a different tone. And then, of course, you will see a mirror. You see yourself, and basically you see whatever you see. I see Dave. I see myself. I really see myself. David does whatever David does. I see myself in different divisions, different dimensions of me, different things, part of me. I begin to see myself, and I will do my own lessons. I feel that is the lesson I need to learn. Anybody, every other people. I see Dave. I see Brett. I see Mike. I see Professor Liu. I see Vaughn. I see a lot of people, and I see myself there. They all have part of me. They all have the integrated part of me. And then I see what I can do. So when I heighten myself, I heighten the universe. When I expand myself, I expand the universe. I always say that. I'm the humanity, and I am the universe. Because we're all participating of that universe, the holistic universe participation. So each thing we see is the reflection of ourselves. Each matter, it is a reflection of ourselves. Each hurricane, actually, it is a reflection of ourselves. And it's a lesson we learn, in Chinese, we call karma. What is karma? Karma is learning. It's a learning. Something comes to you, you're learning. Either you do something that comes back to you, or something you have done in the past, and generations before, or something generations below, and that comes, and then it is a lesson you are put together. It's a sort of like infinite map, but the lessons are always present at the present time, in space and time, here and now. So it is a mirror. It is that reflection of yourself. So that kind of, it is that environment we all set up. It is the environment, it is that vision, and you set up the condition, the environment, so that you can reprogram yourself, and you clean up, you purify all the messy, disordered ground, or space, or background, whatever you can label it, this infinite pathway or towards the potentiality to do what? To reach that innate intelligence, to reach the innate potentiality, to reach the innate infinite void, that unlimited infinite potentiality. So to experience that infinite potentiality, to experience that high dimensional self, the high dimensional cosmic universe or micro and universe, so to speak. So, and you have, he talk about when you set up the condition you want to experience, use different pathways, different ways. In Chinese we call Tao. Tao is infinite. It's not just a certain ways to do things. That thousands of ways is one way. Millions of ways is one way. Billions of ways is different ways of one way. That's what it is. Because anything comes into one. The oneness of that is the same channel, but different labels, different pathways we talk about. So, and we talk about, of course, Zen Taigong. Zen Taigong is something I do. And what I did is really not mine. And I curate it from the universe, collected from the universe, and collected from the human beings. For example, the Indian, and I collect something from India. And collect something from Bodhidharma, collect something from Krishnamurti, collect something from Bruce Lee, and collect something from the Taoist, the Laozi, and collect something from my Kung Fu's years of practice. 1,500 years practice is millions of people's participation, and collected from the Taiji, collected from Qigong, collected from Xingyi, collected from Bagua, collected all these things I have practiced and put them together, and to see what is the simplest way other people can easily to penetrate, to tap into that conscious inner being, to be coherent with themselves, to be coherent with the universe, to be coherent with the relationship with the nature and with beings. So that's what it is about. And we all integrated, we all connected, we all part of each other. Thank you, Professor Liu.
Thank you, Mr. DeRu. It's a very glad to hear you introduce the Chan Tai Gong. It's very detailed, and I think that we should talk about why we have to do the high dimension practice like Chan Tai Gong. There are a lot of the methods, such as is built on the same concept, such as Tai Chi Chuan, transcendental meditation, awakening yoga, Yong Chun, Heart Way, all kind of standing pose meditation, blah blah blah. Concrete high dimensional practice. In there, I want to talk about the significance of a high dimension practice. There is some meaning. The one is initiate the infinity source of inner wisdom. That is open out the wisdom source, and adjust the state of a life energy toward perfection. And three, physical and mental health. So that is important for the life. And there is a indirect significance of high dimensional practice. The one is master the method of connecting to high dimensional consciousness energy and at any time. That's very important. We not only when we do the practice, and in our whole life, anytime we have to know how to contact with our inside high dimension, to contact and get some information to get out the life path. The third one is beware of one's inner cognition at any time in real life. That is, in our real life, we have to, in any time, to find out our inner lesson, to complete our homework, to get the upgrade of the inside consciousness. It make our every moment we are happy. We have the freedom, the life state. The third is subverting the inner cognition to enlightenment. So, because we have to subverting the inside cognition, because any inside the inner cognition is the block our connect with a higher dimension. Because the cognition inside block our to connect with our higher dimension information. So that I want to talk about this part. So thank you.
Okay, wonderful. So he talked about when we do everything over here, we must have the right mind, right heart, right pathways, and we have to set up a condition, and also to heighten ourselves, to cultivate ourselves, and to open our mind, to let it go, to detach ourselves, and so that we have that ability and to tap into our innermost consciousness, and that condition, and that we talk about the significance of all that, and the reality of the universe, the reality of the inner potential, the reality of the visible universe, the reality of the whole integrated whole. And what is the reality? What we see over here, the reality is the concrete wall, the concrete table, the concrete microphone, concrete people, concrete clothing, and which we call reality. Is that real reality? And all that just the manifestation, or the just projection of our own image, and what do we see? And so how can we get beyond that invisible, beyond that visible reality, into that invisible reality, beyond the appearance, into that inner potentiality? So that means we need open pathways, and we need open ourselves. We need to let the freedom of the mind, freedom of the body to be in realization. How can we free ourselves? That means we must do what? We must let it go. Let it go of what? Let it go of our thoughts. Let it go of our emotions. Let it go of our visible conceptualization of the reality, the perception of the reality, what we used to think, what we always thought was true. And just like quantum physics used to see, the classical physics, everything, time is fixed, and matter is fixed, everything is fixed, And then we come to the quantum field, and we begin to see, okay, the science that in the past was not really all accurate. It's maybe partially, and they describe the partial surface of things, very, very tiny partial surface things. And then we get deeper into the quantum physics. We begin to see everything what we thought was true, but illusions. You know, it's all illusions. We thought that time is fixed. There was no such thing as time. And as Albert Einstein pointed out, space-time and equals mc square, and depicted that all matters is energy. You know, all matters is energy. So, and then we used to think the energy transmission, matter transmission. We never thought our energy, our body chemical can transmit it in energy waves. And we begin to see from quantum biology, we begin to see that, okay, our energy wave, biology energy transmission is 1,860 miles per second. That's our own energy transmission. That means that our DNA expression can transmit that far, can give you that information, how far it can give, can send out. However, our biology chemical transmission only 1 centimeter per second. Wow. Okay, we see what we had in the past, what our conventional medicine today still used today. You know, that Darwin's idea is still used today in conventional medicine. And was nothing wrong, and a lot of things probably are still useful. However, we missed the biggest portion of quantum biology. That quantum biology tells us electron, magnetic field, energy, frequency transmission is as far as 860 miles per hour. That is just the initial investigation. We can get deeper and deeper into the infinite quantum entanglement, without space, without time, without distance, without the location. So, and then we begin to realize our reality we thought was reality. It was no longer reality. It was just it was a very scratch surface of it. So that means we want to get a real reality deep into that consciousness, deep into that supreme dimension, the supreme intelligence, in an innermost potential, the innermost intelligence, and we must rethink, readjust, examine ourselves, and to start a movement that is revolutionize our old thoughts, revolutionize our emotion, revolutionize our way of thinking of the past. So not just to increase the energy, purify the energy, but reformulate all the pathways, reformulate our energy frequency, observe ourselves, and tap into the original source of the universe. And then what we said over here is to set up the condition, set up the environment, set up the internal condition and external condition, and how we can each self and use our own light to lighten ourselves up and to unveil that inner intelligence. So when we set up the inner intelligence, we must open ourselves, we must have the freedom, we must detach ourselves, we must negate to certain formula of the past, certain conceptualization of the past, certain conformity of the past, certain religion of the doctrination of the past, certain nationality of political and economical or religious indoctrination of the past. Redirect ourselves. That means that direction of consciousness is vital over here. How can we get into the right direction of that consciousness, right direction of that pathways? And then with that, we must have good health. Not only just a vital energy environment, vital conscious direction, and we must have the good health. Without a good health, we don't have the vibration. We don't have the right vibration. We don't have that. We cannot see the pathways because we scattered with all kinds of noises. We are bombarded with so many different, not just opinions, chaotic, disordered information. And then our health and then our mental energy, it is in such a chaos, we cannot go anywhere ourselves. We are weakened, we are frightened, we are full of fears, we are terrorized ourselves. It's just like the pandemic. And we have so many, all kinds of indoctrination, all kinds of media, the media of the noise, the media of the reports, the media of the culture, the media of the religion, the media of different dogma, different beliefs. And then we crush ourselves, we destroy ourselves, we destruct ourselves. We're never going anywhere. That's how the disease is created. That is all that panic is created. That is all that anxiety is created. That is all that mental disorder is created. That is all that cancer is created, because it's hundreds of diseases put together, and all other diseases are created. The immune diseases and disorders, the autoimmune diseases. What is that? That is all disorder. That disorder is disease. That disorder is totally disable yourself. That disorder is totally cut yourself from the pathways. Cut yourself from the innermost consciousness. Cut yourself from that channel. Reach into that ultimate intelligence. Reach into that original light to connect yourself with the innermost being. So when you're in such a lower status, where you're in such a weakness, when you're in such a disillusions, when you're in such a poor self-esteem situations, without any confidence, all you do is cry. All you do is complain. All you do is only to do what? To become a victim. A victim of yourself, victim of society, victim of religion, victims of culture, victim of nationality, victim of all kinds of noises. You stop to be a human being. You stop to be an intelligent being. Because you become a slave of all this chaos. And you basically, you have to start over again. That's why you become dead. Sometimes people still look alive, but it's already dead. And some people dead are dead, if they restarted that conscious being again. So that's what it is about. So that a body, that a mind got to be cultivated. Without that body, mind, and there's no pathways, because you don't have the ability. You don't have that really coherent energy frequency to penetrate, to expand, to heighten anywhere. And that is the reality. And we talk about that is the reality Professor Liu was talking about. So that is the significance of the how we can heighten into the innate, the internal, the deepest mind, into the source of the origin of the universe, consciousness, into the conscious matrix of the cosmos, macro and micro. In that, so besides the mind, we must be accountable for ourselves. Of course, with the mindset, with the right health set, with that direction, and we have to have the accountability that he was talking about. Master the pathways. You are connected pathways, connected with some innate ways that you are really, really into, and there are so many pathways. But when you grasp these pathways, when you touch the pathways, you must be persistent, consistent. You must be accountable to each step of the way. What I call it, when you perceive, when you conceive, when you take that action, but you must be accountable to that action. You must affirm with that action. And then you must be ready to receive with gratitude. And that is the cycle. That cycle, what do we call it? The master of that pathways, the master of that ways of doing things, the master of that Tao, into that highest dimension, into that coherent energy frequency, without time, without space. That means that anytime, anywhere, you are in flow. That's what we call Zen flow. When Zen in flow, and anytime, you don't have problems. Okay, what can I do today? How can I do tomorrow? How can I do this time? How can I do that time? How can I do this? How can I do that? And when I'm going to have it, and I don't have it. And because you're not in it, when you're in it at all times. There's no time space. That's really, really in it. When you're really in it, you must be really innately observe that self. Not just be aware of the self, but observe that self deeply into that inner state, into that deeper state of the mind. Into that real potential of your life, integrated with the whole universe, macro or micro. And then any condition is without a condition. Any program, it is without a program. Anything, it is without any boundaries, without any methods. Why? Because when you're in the pathway, you're originally all the way to the highest dimension of yourself. You went into the ultimate mission. The ultimate mission is what? It's universal mission. The ultimate mission is what? The ultimate mission is the path. It's the ultimate pathway. It's all the billions of pathways into one. You are part of the universe. You are part of the participating cosmos. You are part of that invention of this conscious cosmic being. You are becoming the origin of the universe. You are creating the universe. That is what we call the ultimate mission, the ultimate power, the ultimate intelligence. You become that supreme. You are connected, integrated with the wholeness of God, the wholeness of the universe, the wholeness become part of the Buddha, they become the wholeness of that cosmic being, macro and micro. There's no boundaries, no limitations. It's infinite. That is the greatest potential, greatest void of conscious matrix of being. Thank you.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.